Hi, I'm Sarah Thompson for STL TV. The Girl Scouts of the USA have actually been around for over 98 years. Now the Girl Scouts of Eastern Missouri are looking for some new volunteers. Today I'm joined by Marianne Owens, who's the Director of Membership Services of the Girl Scouts of Eastern Missouri, and Leslie Hunter, who is a volunteer. So the Girl Scouts have been around for a long time, but now we're in this interesting position right here in St. Louis or Eastern Missouri. You're looking for more volunteers.
We are. We actually have an initiative where we are trying to recruit in several demographics. Research shows us that the girls really enjoy having volunteers to work with that are in the ages of 18 to 29, young people like you and like Leslie. The girls really relate to them, and so we are trying to recruit more young people, as well as we're having some efforts in the Hispanic, Bosnian, and African American communities, because those are areas where we have girls that really want to be Girl Scouts, but we're having difficulty recruiting the volunteers that we need to make that happen. So we are really working very hard in those demographics to reach out and let the adults know what a wonderful experience it can be for them as well to volunteer for Girl Scouts.
So Leslie, you just actually got involved, what Marianne was talking about, the need for volunteers. Tell us how you sort of heard about it. And I know you've only been involved for a little bit, but what that experience has been like for you so far.
Sure. I was looking to do volunteer service around the area of St. Louis, and I talked to Marianne, which I knew from a different organization, and she told me about the Taste of World Friendship, which is a week-long day camp for 1,800 girls attended this camp that don't have the availability of troops in their area, which is a lot of girls from the city. So I decided to come and volunteer for a few days. We helped out, the volunteers helped out with different activities. I worked in the arts and crafts station and so on, and we just involved ourselves with the girls, taught them about different activities, educational things, also fun activities, and this really helped boost their self-esteem. And since these girls aren't in areas that do have troops available, it's really important for them, and that's why we are calling out for volunteers, particularly in the city, African American volunteers, as well as the youth, because these girls really look up to those groups of people.
Well, let's focus on this sort of need for young professionals, because I think what kind of age group are we talking about when we're this call for young professionals to get involved?
We're looking for people between the ages of 18 to probably 29, 30, 32, somewhere in that age level.
And I think what happens with Leslie, and you know, we mentioned this a little bit earlier off camera, was that with young professionals, sometimes the fear is that I have no time to commit to this. I don't want to be relied upon on a day-to-day basis or a weekly basis. But that's not really entirely what you're asking for. Yes, it would be great, but you also say you can kind of be on call. Can you tell us, Marianne, a bit more about that, and Leslie, how that works for you as well?
Sure. I think that, you know, the typical stereotype is if I'm a Girl Scout volunteer, I have to have a Girl Scout troop, I have to show up every week and have planned activities, and sure, that is the ultimate experience for both the girl and the leader. But we understand that young mothers, young professionals, even people my age don't always have that amount of time to give. So we have episodic volunteers. We have a young people's organization called Spectrum, and we have about 150 people that are members of that. We send out emails. We let them know of volunteers, such as what Leslie did. They want to come for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. We have events that are a series of events. They maybe last 8 weeks. So maybe if you have a certain skill, like Sarah, yours is marketing and PR, we might have a group of girls if that's their interest. And you could say, well, I'll come in and help this group for 2 or 3 times. So we're really trying to be cognizant and aware of the demands on people today and make them have the ability to have a really rewarding opportunity with the Girl Scouts that does not consume a huge amount of their time.
And how's it been for you with your schedule, Leslie?
It's really nice because it is flexible. I'm a student, but as Marianne knows, I do 50 million things.
That's right.
And
that's the world we live in, I guess. Yeah.
And it is nice to be able to say, you know, I want to do volunteering, what's available to me. And when she told me about the opportunity, obviously it stood out, but what also appealed to me is because it is flexible. Obviously it's important to be reliable in anything that you do. If I say I want to come in, I come in and do it, but it is nice because I didn't have to come, you know, 5 days a week, every week between June 5th and July 31st or July 30th. I could come and go as I wanted. So that was nice. And she'll let me know of activities in the future. And it is nice to have that flexibility.
What do you feel are sort of really the true benefits of giving back to the community? I think that's something that's so overlooked, especially when you're a young professional. You're very focused on graduating if you're in school, if you're working your career. But really there's a sort of you know, heartwarming sense of giving back to the community. So what do you feel are some of the benefits as a volunteer that you feel you've received from doing this?
Well, first of all, we're dealing with youth, girls aged typically in the age range of 5 to 17. That period of time is really critical for all children, girls and boys, but particularly girls, in terms of their development, their self-esteem, educating, because not to sound cliche, but the children are our future, so it is nice to provide opportunities, as well as I was a Girl Scout when I was younger, and it did help in my development and my self-esteem along the years. And I believe that an organization that helped me, I really feel that I should give back. But even if you're not or weren't a Girl Scout, to be involved with youth is always a benefit because you are having an impact on their lives. So.
No, well, I mean, that sounds fantastic. I think there is something to be said for, as you kind of move along, that you should always give back something to the community. For people who want to learn, basically now we're gonna sort of wrap things up, but for people who wanna learn how to be a Girl Scout volunteer, and I wanna get this clear, I wanna be straight about this, you're looking for, one category is young professionals,
right,
but you're also looking for, of all ages,
right,
volunteers who can represent the African American community, the Hispanic community, as well as the Bosnian community. Is that correct?
That's certainly correct, and that's where we're putting an emphasis now. But believe me, we're not going to turn away any volunteers. So, yes. I mean, I don't want to say if you don't fit into one of those demographics, you can't volunteer. We welcome anyone, but we have a special need in those areas right now.
There's a special need. So, how can people, if they want to get more information, or if someone's seeing this and they want to hear about it, how can they? Do they go to the website, or what information?
They can certainly go to our website. They can call me personally at 314-592-2396, and I promise I'll get them hooked up.
Right. We've got our graphic up. So that's Girl Scouts of Eastern Missouri. They're located out actually near the Westport area, but that's sort of irrelevant to calling 1-800-727-4475 or going online to visit them at Girl Scout EM, which stands for easternmissouri.org. Is that pretty concise, Girl Scout?
That works. That works.
And that's where people can go for more information. Well, you know, Leslie, I think it's fantastic what you're doing and what you're doing in the community, and specifically with Girl Scouts of Eastern Missouri. And best of luck to you.
Thank you.
And Marianne, thank you for joining us as well, and good luck to you in this effort. I hope you were able through this to get some more volunteers.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sarah Thompson for STL TV. Experience St. Louis.